In this video, we will be using cryptocurrency to learn Power BI. I will be using this video along with the 16 video series as part of my event, Power the BI Live, on May 1st and 2nd in Dallas, Texas. Now, if you're interested in participating in Power the BI Live, go to my website, powerofthebi.com, go up to courses and select Power of the BI Live. But right now, let's jump right on over into the video. You guys were hearing me. So in this video, we are going to be using cryptocurrency to create a Power BI report. We're going to be using cryptocurrency to create a Power BI report. And this is a 3-part video series. I'm sorry, this is a 16-part video series that we are going to have, or that we are having, that is going to be part of my Power of the BI Live. Those of you that are just joined us in on Instagram, welcome to the live video that we are using for this 16-part video series, creating a Power BI report using cryptocurrency. This is going to be a 16-part video series that I will also be introducing at my Power of the BI Live event in May, on May 1st and May 2nd in Dallas. So again, now what that is, May 1st and May 2nd, I am going to be teaching Power BI Live, and it's called Power of the BI Live. It's going to be in Dallas on May 1st and May 2nd. 2 days, 8 hours a day. Is a total event. It's not a split event. It's one event, but it's 2 days, May 1st and May 2nd in Dallas. And basically what I'm going to be doing with this particular video is I'm using this video to help me help you, or help me help my students, as this will be part of their Power BI portfolio. We're going to be building at least 3 Power BI reports for their portfolio that particular weekend, and this is going to be one of those one of the reports that they will have in their portfolio. So we're going to go step by step, and what we've been doing is going step by step over the past 2 videos, creating this particular report. We're going to build this report. This report is actually going to have 16 visualizations on it, and by the time we get done, it's going to be a full-scale professional Power BI report that, one, you'd be able to present to your employers as your Power BI portfolio, in your Power BI portfolio, and or you'll be able to use it as a tool to analyze cryptocurrency data. Now, with that said, what I want to make sure is that I'm very clear on is that this is not a course on how to pick cryptocurrency. This is not a course on learning. We're giving you advice on what cryptocurrency to buy. That is not what we're here for. This is simply a video on learning how to create a Power BI report, and we're going to use cryptocurrency as a source of truth, or as a data source, not as a source of truth, because I don't want you to take that as, it's true that, whatever we do, we're going to be able to go, buy cryptocurrency. No, but we are going to be analyzing live crypto currency. In this particular report, the currency that we are analyzing is of February. The currency is dated as of February 15th. But as we get further down into the video, we are going to, build out. We're going to update and refresh and actually have additional data. I think here we have somewhere around 515 cryptocurrencies that we are going to be using to analyze data. So let's get busy. Let's go ahead on and get started as we move right along. And my microphone is, I need to go wireless here later. I got to figure out how to use this Rode Go. I had to figure out how to use this Rode, because this wired is really creating a situation for me. So in the initial videos we started building our report out using a column chart and a table visual. In this particular video, what we are going to use is going to be a clustered column chart. So let me get my face out of the way so that we can see what is going on here. So of course, now we have minimized the screens for our filters, for our visualizations, and for our data. what we're going to do is we are going to expand that screen. We'll expand those areas so that we can see the filters, we can see the visualizations, and now we need to be able to see the data. And let's see here. Expand the data. Oh, I see our data is right here. So we got a table. Our table is dated 02/15, and we have several other tables that actually that we use to build this particular table, and we'll talk about that later. But all we need to know right now is that the data that we have is the table that we're using is a table called 02/15. So, given that this screen here right now is pretty much covering the entire page, there's a couple of things that I want to do first. Let's do this. Let's go over to the format pane. We go over to format. I want to actually make this page a little bit wider and a little taller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to canvas settings, and I'm going to go to custom. And when I go to custom, I'm at 720. Let's make this, let's see, what does 960 look like? No, that's the height. Let's make it 1600 for the height. And let's make it, let's say 1500 for the width. Let's do 1600 for the width. Yeah, but I think the height is a little too tall, so let's go to 980. Let's say 1080. That looks a little bit better. Let's see, 1080 by 1600. Yeah, I kind of like that. So initially it was, I forgot what it was, 720 by 900, I believe. So what we did was we increased the width, we increased the height just so we could have a little bit more room on the page, because we're talking about having 16 visuals on this page. Since we're gonna have 16 visuals, what we want to do is we want to make sure that it doesn't look too jumbled up. So what we did was we went in and we created custom height and width so that we could build out what we can add room for custom for more visualizations. Again, so in this video, we are going to be discussing the clustered column chart. And with the clustered column chart, we do the same thing as we did before with the not the clustered column chart, but we're going to be using the clustered bar chart. And we're going to grab that bar chart just as we did with the clustered column chart and with the table visual. We're just going to go over to the format pane, and not the format pane, I'm sorry, the visualizations pane, and we are going to select a clustered bar chart. Now, I happen to know that the clustered bar chart is right here, but let's just real quick, let's go through what's on these first two rows. We'll look at the next two rows a little later. Well, actually, let's just go with what's on the first two rows, then I'll show you how I grabbed that table visual as well. So on the first two rows, we have a 100% stacked column chart. That could be one of our visuals, so we could click that visual. Now, that happens all the time when you are highlighted on a visualization and then you accidentally click another visual, it changes it to that particular visual. All we have to do is go back and select the visual that we had it and clustered column chart. Was that a clustered column chart? Clustered. No, that was a table visual. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come back down, and now we're gonna select the table. So if you accidentally select a visual, if you accidentally highlight it over a visual, have your selection on the visual, and you select another visual, it's going to change to that particular visual. But all you have to do is go back and you can reselect that particular visualization, and it'll bring you back to your original visual. Or if I had selected, let's see, that's not a good example. If I had selected this area chart accidentally, I could have come back over to my undo. This undo button here, and it would have taken me back, and actually hit that twice. So I mean, had two selections, so I went back And now it takes me back to my original visual, my table visual. Making sure I got some voice going on. Yeah, so now what we are going to do is we are going to move the visuals that we have. We're going to move these guys down a little bit so we can have a little bit more room for our third visualization. Now again, what you need to understand is by the end of this video, what we are going to have is we're going to have a complete Power BI report. You know, I'm going to say it's going to be kind of fancy. You can probably put it into a corporate environment. You know, if you're in the crypto environment, crypto workspace, you're going to be able to, you know, demonstrate this video, show what how cryptocurrency is performing, all the nine, right? So, what's it, all the nine? I think they're saying all the things now. All the things. You're going to be able to do all the things. Anyway, so what we're going to do here now is we are going to, what I wanted to show you was this. That's how I accidentally selected the table. I had the table, so right now I've got the table selected. We can see that we got the highlight around the table. If I click outside of the table, now that highlight moves. So if I make another selection, say for instance this line chart, now that particular visual comes in. Given that it's highlighted, now if I click out of there, if I click another visual, let's say this stacked bar chart, now that visual comes in as well. If I keep this visual highlighted and then I select, say, the funnel chart, now it automatically changes. But I can go back to undo and it'll take me back to my bar chart. I can click delete. I can come back over to my line chart and I can select pie chart, and now it turns into a pie. Or I can select outside of it. I can select the donut, and now it gives me, I have another visual. Just giving you that just in case, you know, you have a selection selected and you accidentally select another visual while you have one visual selected. It is going to turn into that visual, but you can do undo, or you can select that visual back on top of it and it'll bring that visual back to you. So I'm going to undo this one so you can see that we're going to go back to the pie chart, and I'm going to select the pie chart and I'm just going to click delete. Now, the visual that we are also wanted to show you something else. Across the top on the first row of the data pane, and let me get myself out the way. On the first row of the data pane, we have, I like to go from right to left when I'm looking at a pie chart, when I'm looking at the Power BI report. You can go from left to right, but I typically go from right to left. And the first visual is 100% stacked column chart. And that's what that would look like. Let's make it a little bit smaller. The next visual is going to be the 100% stacked bar chart. And let's make the let's make the column chart a little bit smaller. We got several more visuals to bring in. We have the clustered column chart, which we have already worked with, which is down here. And the reason why it's grayed out here is because there's no data in here. If there was data in here, it would look similar to what we have as far as the different colors and the names and values and things like that. But we're actually just selecting the actual template that we want to work with, and then we bring the data in. The next visual at the top is going to be the clustered bar chart, which is what we are going to work with today. And let's make it a little bit smaller. We got two more visuals to bring in. See here, so just bring that over, and we're gonna bring this over, make it just a little bit smaller. Really doesn't matter how small we make it because we're really not gonna be using either one of them. Well, except for the clustered bar chart. Then we have the stacked column chart. And we have the stacked bar chart. So these are all the visuals that are coming across, that are across the first row of the selections that we're able to select within the visualizations pane. Now, just to give you some idea where these visualizations are coming from, these are actually Microsoft visuals. These visuals come standard with Power BI Desktop. Let me say this. So here's the deal. If you want to follow along with creating this particular video or creating the videos in the video series, there's one of 16 video series, and you do not have Power BI Desktop, all you have to do is just go to Google, put in Power BI Desktop download, put in Power BI Desktop download, and then I believe it's going to be probably the first. It's going to probably be the first selection that comes up. Just click it, and it'll take you over to Microsoft, the official Microsoft website. If it's not the first one, it's going to be the first one or two. But just make sure you're clicking the one that takes you over to the official Microsoft website, and it's going to take you over to a site that says Power BI download. And I can show you. Let's see. We did it in the first video. So if you're not sure of how to grab or how to go over, just grab. I believe it's the first video that we did in the series. Just go over and click Power BI Desktop. Click download. Let's see. I can show you real quick. Let's see. I'm not connected to the internet. I should do that first before I attempt to show you how to get there. Because if I don't connect to the internet, you're not going to be able to get there. Let's go to Google. Now, what I'm going to do is yeah, I guess I can do it this way. So I'm just going to go to Google. I'm going to Power BI Desktop. It says Power BI Desktop. Just going to click Power BI Desktop, and voila, it is the first one. I'm going to go to Power BI Desktop, download that first one, and then you're going to just select download now, and you're going to select, download now. And when you select download now, it's going, I already have it, so I don't want to re-download it, but that's what you'll be able to do. And you'll be able to download Power BI Desktop, which is what I'm building this Power BI report out of, and which anyone that's using Power BI would be building it using Power BI Desktop. You can use Power BI online. I don't recommend it for building a report. That's a whole other conversation. We'll talk about that later. Not that I don't recommend Power BI online. It's just that I don't recommend building a full-scale Power BI report using Power BI online. Now, then once you download it, also understand when you download Power BI Desktop, it's only good for a PC. It's not good for any other operating system. Power BI Desktop is only good for a PC. As of this video, Power BI Desktop is only good for a PC. Could change in the next 2 minutes after this video, but as of right now, it's only good for a PC. So if you're using any other type of operating system, it's not going to work for you. Now, let's see, why is that popping up over here? And so, as we are here and we are building out this report, what I've just did was I just showed you what the different types of visualizations running across the first row. Now, the reason why I say Microsoft is, and I say that these are actual Microsoft visuals, is because Power BI is a Microsoft product. Power BI is very similar in product-wise as Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Publisher, things like that. It is a Microsoft product, but it's geared for businesses. It's geared for businesses. The good thing about Power BI Desktop is that, Power BI Desktop is that it's a free application as opposed to a paid application that we would typically find when we have to download Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Publisher, and things like that. It is free, which gives you the opportunity to go learn Power BI and then take it to your professional space and either offer it as a service, as a contractor, or as part of your daily job, as part of your daily job descriptions, or however that may be. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the clustered column chart. The clustered bar chart. Now the clustered column chart is what we have here. The table is what we have here. And now we just brought in the clustered bar chart. Now, as we see, the clustered bar chart does not have any data. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand the data in the table that we're using. And we have already, in our clustered column chart, we used Bitcoin across the bottom. Well, not Bitcoin. I keep saying Bitcoin. We use the name of the currency across the bottom, and we use the value of the currency going across the sides. Across the bottom is the x-axis. Across the sides is the y-axis. And just as I say that, because I accidentally said Bitcoin again, I am new to this crypto space, and I have created a Bitcoin QR code that is on the YouTube, that is on the YouTube thumbnail. If you feel so inclined to, please go out and just make a small Bitcoin donation. If you'd like to see more videos like this, more cryptocurrency videos being used to create Power BI reports, or updating Power BI reports using cryptocurrency. If you think this is a good video for the crypto community, if you don't mind, just go and make a small fractional crypto donation. And I say fractional, not a whole crypto. Well, you can donate a whole crypto, a whole Bitcoin if you want. But if you can just go out and just make a small Bitcoin donation, I would truly appreciate it. And it gives me some idea that you really appreciate this type of video. And I'll be able to create more videos like this for the crypto community, or for the Bitcoin community. Now, we have coming across, we had at the top the visualization that we just brought in, which is the clustered column chart. On the clustered bar chart, we use the name of the crypto and we use the value. In the table visual, we use pretty much everything that we had within the data that was provided. The name, the price, the 1 hour percent change, the 24-hour percent change, the 7-day percent change, the last 7 days of value, volume over the last 24 hours, and the market cap. Now, I'm not going to give a class right now as to what all of those things are when it comes to stocks, or when it comes to the crypto market. Just understand that those are data points that are being used to determine how different currencies, Bitcoins, are, well, not Bitcoins, but different cryptocurrencies. I keep saying Bitcoin. Like I said, I'm new to this space. I build Power BI reports. I'm new to the crypto space. But anyway, those are the data points, and we're going to use similar data points, or those same data points, to create our clustered bar chart. So on our clustered bar chart, we are going to place the name of the crypto on the x-axis, and if we did this the same way as we did the clustered column chart, we would place the price on, we place the name on the y-axis, and now we're going to place the price on the x-axis for the clustered bar chart. Now, if you think about it, a bar chart is something that you can set. When I say bar chart, in my mind, I'm thinking a bar is horizontal, and I can place a glass on it at the bar, or I can place a plate on it at the bar. A clustered column chart is a column, and a column can hold up the rafters of a house, right? The beams on a house, or columns are on a building. That's how I'm able to tell the difference, or that's how I differentiate between a clustered bar chart and a clustered column chart. Outside of that, the data that you can place on a bar chart and the column chart is pretty much the same type of data. It's just rotated. So if you look at the clustered column chart at the bottom, if we rotate that thing 90 degrees, it's going to be exactly the exact same shape as a clustered column chart. And if we rotate the clustered bar chart back 90 degrees, it's going to be the same as the clustered column chart. So they're pretty much the same type of visual. Where I'm going with that is, what we like to do in Power BI is we don't like to show the exact same information in different visualizations, right? Because, you know, why have two different visuals that say the same thing, even though they just have different shapes, or they just are rotated differently. So what I'm going to do here is, rather than using price in the clustered bar chart, I'm going to change price to, let's see, what I want to put in there instead of price. Let's place 1 hour percent, which should be telling us what's the change in 1 hour percentages. And as we see here, now we have, I am not totally sure if all of the currencies used in the 1 hour percent are 100% correlated to the currencies on the price that we used in the column chart. I would venture to guess, but I'm not totally sure. But what I do know is we have a very big difference in price. For instance, we have Bitcoin that is at 60,000, 63,000, 67,000. And the next currency, which is the next highest currency, is going to be Ultima. And Ultima is at 5,876. But when we look at the 1 hour percent change, it's not that big of a difference in percent changes. As a matter of fact, well, I'm going to say it's not that big of a difference. There is a bigger difference. It is still a sizable difference. But and this is not even Bitcoin here. So yeah, I mean, the currencies, when we look at 1 hour percent changes, they do change quite a bit. So part of our analysis, when we're looking at this cryptocurrency and building out the Power BI report, we can see which currencies have greater changes over a 1 hour. Is that a 1 hour? Yeah, over a 1 hour time period. So if you were investing, you may say, I'm going to invest in certain coins because I'm going to make money over a 1 hour time period, as opposed to over, you know, the life of the coin. So this is actually a pretty good example, because now we're seeing that the currencies that the higher currencies are not necessarily the currencies that are having higher increases in percentages over a 1 hour time period. What that would tell me is that if a person was investing, but they were pretty much day trading, if they were pretty much day trading coins, they may want to see which coins make more money in shorter periods of time, as opposed to investing and holding the coin over longer periods of time. Because of course, I'm not going to go into that, because I don't want to talk about, I don't want to get into, you know, which coins to buy and which coins not to buy and when. So, but at the end of the day, what we've just looked at, what we just built out here, is a visualization for a Power BI clustered bar chart. We built out a visualization for a Power BI clustered bar chart. And now we're just going to make it a little bit more interesting. We're going to say it's going to stretch out here, and we're going to take it all the way across. Just, you know, for grins and giggles, let's just say that this was a Power BI report, and it was only going to have 3 particular visuals. It's going to have the table visual, and it's going to have the clustered column chart, and it has the clustered bar chart. This is what it would look like if it was just 3 visuals. Understand, we're going to have 16 visuals on this report before it's over. The visual is pretty much every different visualization that we bring on is a visual, and we're going to have 16 visuals on this report before it's over. And just as the rest, if we select certain, if we select visuals, we can see how they respond or how they interact with other visualizations. And when I selected this particular, the cluster column chart, and I selected Bitcoin, we see that Bitcoin is not in the highest of the 1 hour percent changes. This is another way that we can see how those values, if those values are there. If I double click it, it'll just reset. So the values with the higher amounts, the top 5 or 6 the top 5 or 6 currencies on the cluster column chart by value are not in the top 5 or 6 charts, top 5 or 6 values on the bar chart by 1 hour percent change. But we can see what those values are. When we look back at the table visual, we can see what those values are. So that wraps up this video for the clustered column, the clustered bar chart, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.